Hello interwebs, how are you doing? I'm doing well. I am here with Boogie2988 and we're going to be doing our very first episode of BroChat. For those of you guys who tune into TradeChat pretty regularly, this is kind of like girl on girl, only there's only one girl. Yeah, that's a thing. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, remember to rate it thumbs up. Starting off, let me just introduce Boogie to anybody who doesn't know him. Boogie, this is the interwebs. Interwebs, this is Boogie. Huh?
What's up, interwebs? How you guys doing today? Sorry, I thought they don't do a little bit of Francis, they're gonna get mad. They're sitting at their computers going, "You sons of bitch! Do the voice! Do the stupid voice!"
I wish I could do the Francis voice, but I can't do it. I can't do it.
I like your nerd voice. It's pretty funny, actually. The one you do, the nerd character, is really funny, actually.
The one that snorts?
Yeah.
So let's get right into the interview. My first question for you is, how long have you been into games and what got you into gaming?
I'd say the very first video game I ever played was when I was very, very young. I played Pac-Man at a little ice cream shop just a couple miles away from my house. They had a few arcade games in there. There was normally pinball and stuff. And I saw Pac-Man, the very first arcade game I ever saw. Begged my brother, who'd driven me there for a quarter, put a quarter into it, and it was absolutely fantastic. And that would have been the year Pac-Man came out, so I'm thinking 1980, maybe 79.
Oh my goodness.
I guess it was 4 or 5 years out. I don't know. The culture was actually really phenomenal because I was very, very young. But I remember going to the mall in our area, and you would put, like, I remember playing Street Fighter 2 in the arcade. You would put your quarter on the edge of the machine to mark your place. And when it finally was your time to challenge whoever was dominating in the room, you'd plop your quarter in. I'd play E Honda and get the ass beat out of me, and then I would go to the back of the line again. But it was an interesting time, for sure.
It sounds like it was really fun, and it's funny that people often associate video games with being antisocial, but even from like the dawn of the earliest video game, like clearly it was like a social thing. Like, very cool.
It's funny, most of the friends that I've ever made through high school was the fact that, you know, we had a video game rental store in town, and I'd rented pretty much every game that was on the shelf, and they would give away my phone number to customers who are having trouble beating games. They'd call me up and go, how do I get to the 8th dungeon in Zelda? How do I get through World 8-1? It's so stupid that one jump is impossible. We got to hit the run, but you know, I don't know. Most of the friends I had growing up and most of the friends I've made as an adult has been through gaming. So
that's an awesome story. I really like that. So you sound like you have played a lot of games. What are your top 3 favorite games of all time?
Oh man. Well, let's see. The original EverQuest changed my life. When that got published, I crawled into a bedroom, I hooked up my computer, I connected to the internet, and 4 years disappeared. But I also met some of the best people I've ever met. I've met, you know, my roommate at the time met her husband through EverQuest, and I met some people that I knew in real life, and it bonded some of my real life friendships. So certainly that game. World of Warcraft, probably in the top 3 as well. I'm not going to rank these, not in particular order. World of Warcraft, of course, again, either playing it in the beta when I was done with EverQuest, or even, and a lot of people make fun of Wrath of the Lich King, but it was my favorite era because I played the original Warcraft 2 and 3. I was familiar with Arthas from 3. I was so excited to see that storyline finally crescendo. And of course, 2 of my best friends in the world I met through World of Warcraft, not to mention my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I owe it to World of Warcraft. Oh, jeez, if I had to pick a third, can I just pick EverQuest? Gee, what would the third be? The original Pac-Man, by God.
There you go.
I know that sounds crazy, but the amount that I played that, and when I heard rumors of a Pac-Man Plus. You can find the ROM out there, but I heard rumors about a Pac-Man Plus being in Johnson City, Tennessee, forcing my mother to drive an hour and a half to go to the arcade in the Johnson City Mall to play this Pac-Man Plus. Dropped $5 into it over the course of a couple of hours, man. Yeah, that game, I don't know. And you know, they often say that, you know, video games influence who you are or what you've become. I don't know if that's true because the most influential game of my life was Pac-Man, and it's not like I'm a round guy eating all the time, being chased by ghosts from the past. Holy shit, I'm Pac-Man! Oh my god!
Amazing. Amazing. So, okay, we know your 3 best games you've ever played. Everybody has played their share of bad games. What do you think is the worst game that you have ever played?
This is cliche, and when I told my roommate that this was the answer I was giving, he made fun of me this morning. But the original E.T., the E.T. Atari game,
the land filler.
yeah, went to a friend's house, and I'd been disappointed by Atari 2600 games at that point. The port of Pac-Man, for example, it has a terrible history, and it was one of the worst ports I've ever played of anything in my life. But I went to my friend's house, and he's got some games I've never played for his Atari, and he's got E.T., and I'm like, holy shit, I love that movie. This is going to be awesome. Nightmare. Living nightmare. Dude, retail for that game. That's not like he found that either.
Oh, no. Terrible.
My biggest disappointment so far has to be Dead Island, though. Now,
really?
Dead Island itself, the game is okay. It's not bad. I mean, it was a fun playthrough, and I beat it. But it was so buggy and so crappy. But it was that trailer, that initial trailer with the little girl crying and all the emotion.
Wasn't that not even in the story of that game?
It's not even in the story. It's just a way to package it for you. But it got all those feels going, and you're just like, oh my god, I can't wait to feel. Oh, and again, it's bullshit. It's just bullshit.
Damn it, people! We want an emotional zombie game. We want to have feels. We want to be burdened with glorious feels.
That's exactly right. I need the feels, America.
I know you had mentioned briefly that you owe your YouTube to World of Warcraft, but how exactly did you get into YouTube?
The very first video I ever published, that actually anybody ever watched anyway, was the World of Warcraft servers are down. And I was waiting for the servers to come up, and I was particularly depressed and particularly just miserable that day. I was going through this awful breakup, and I was just couldn't be unhappier. And so I just turned on the web camera. It's just a way to reach out to people. And I guess I knew people. I was shirtless, and I was eating dips and dip. I knew people were going to make fun of me, and I guess I kind of wanted that. I wanted them to throw, make me feel worse. Come on, make me feel something other than I'm already feeling. Make me angry, make me sad, make me just, And that really kind of took off from there. But then when that got an audience, I've always wanted an audience. I've always needed an audience. When I was a kid, I did extemporaneous speaking, and I did one-act play, and I was in the senior, production, and I did everything I could to act, and I wanted to get into radio when I was younger. I wanted to act, but I certainly don't have the leading man body. But YouTube gave me an outlet for that, gave me the possibility to finally entertain. Mm-hmm. And I think I was born to do that because it's the most satisfying thing I can do. Even if it's me talking about my experiences with considering suicide or how I dealt with the death of my mother, or if it's me eating mayonnaise and smearing it all over myself, as long as someone's watching, that's, and I would do it for free. I would do it if I never got cut a check. I would be doing this. And of course, when I first finally became a partner, I was earning 50 cents a day,
You're like, yes, I'm going to buy a pizza at the end of the month.
Yeah. But I tried, God forbid I'm actually able to teach somebody one of the life lessons that I have had to learn the hard way beforehand,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun. It's fun educating the masses. And it's also fun to smear mayonnaise all over myself, so really.
Where did you get the inspiration for your Francis and Jesse and your other characters from?
Jesse, without a doubt, is pretty much everyone I've ever met when I grew up. I grew up in the southwestern part of Virginia. It's a little corner between Kentucky and Tennessee, and people there have their own unique way of life and a unique experience, and I'm glad that I grew up there. I'm also glad I don't live there now, but I'm glad that I grew up there, and the people there have their own culture and their own way of doing things, their own way of viewing the world, and I wouldn't call us hillbillies, so some people would. Um, but it really is bizarre coming from that cultural bubble. So Jesse is pretty much paired in every little thing I ever heard anybody say back home about President Obama and how the Bush administration, how 9/11 was an inside job. I don't know, but that character certainly is a conglomeration of everyone that I've ever known. And here's a secret that most of my YouTube viewers don't know. This is not my natural speaking voice. People they think I do a lot of voices. When I was young, I grew up with a Southern accent, and I sounded exactly like it's here, because this is what people sound like back home. And when I was 12 years old, my brother came to me and he said, "Stephen, if you want to be treated as an equal in the outside world, if you want to be treated like a human being, you're going to have to learn how to talk like other people do on the TV. You should listen to the way they talk on the television, and you learn to talk like that." And I did. And so Jesse's very much part of me, you know. Francis came about from...
This is what everybody really wants to know.
Francis came about from working at a gaming store for about 2 years. And we have all these different customers come in, and we have some of the best customers in the world. In case they ever see this, I want you guys to know some of them have become fast friends who I will fight to the death for the rest of my life. Some of you are a little on the fringe, no offense, and some of the people that are on the fringe have such lovable but unique personality quirks, and so you meet a guy who's got a weird voice. My friend Casey, in case you're ever watching Casey, he had a bit of a lisp, and he was also Asian. And so, he came over from China, and so he had a thick Chinese accent and a thin Asian accent, and it was amusing to hear him talk. And I thought, man, that's kind of funny. It's amusing, and we'd have all these rules lawyers coming in, and I shoved all that together, all these different characters that were coming in every day, and that's where Francis came about. And I was complaining about how serious people take games, and you can't put bullywugs in a sanctioned game in the Swamp of Sorrow where there's no bullywugs. This is a sanctioned 4th edition game, Steve. You can't do it.
Oh, so Francis is the love child of a Chinese immigrant in a game store, is what you're telling us.
That's exactly what it is. God forbid, I love Casey to death. I haven't seen him in many years. I'm sure he graduated and went back to his homeland and became a superstar over there. But I wonder if he'll ever see this. But he was one of my favorite people. Loved playing Magic with him. My favorite thing to do, playing Magic with that guy.
That's awesome. That's so cool. You know what character I really like, is you've done him a couple times, is the Reverend.
That character is the most controversial thing I do. And every time I do it, I seem to upset both Christians and somehow they will join together to hate me for doing that. But the funniest part about it is my great-grandfather, whom I'm named after, was a holy roller, a holiness preacher, snake handler, fire walker, and I grew up hearing legends about this man. And I believed for the first 10 years of my life, the reason I was so good at public speaking was because I was meant to be a preacher. I was meant to spread the word of God. Well, I don't necessarily believe in God anymore, so what do I have the word to spread, So I love to do Pastor Jacob, and I used to do I've never done this on video before, so I guess I'll do it. No, actually, I used to do the fire and brimstone preacher growing up. And I'll do that for you now if you want to hear it.
I'm pretty excited. Oh, yeah.
And I went to McDonald's, and at McDonald's they told me if I buy one Big Mac, I'll get a second Big Mac for free. And I said I want 2 Big Macs, but do I get a fries? Can I get a Coke? And they said yes. Give me a hallelujah. Can I have a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
But when there's 1 Big Mac, there shall be 2. Praise name.
Praise name. Amazing. Do you have any female characters?
No, I've not, though. In high school, I did win the football beauty pageant. You would dress up as a girl.
Oh my God.
I ironically.
Do you put that on your resume?
But
I would.
it is a top thing. I was a Star Scout, and then I won the football beauty pageant.
Amazing. A jack of all trades, really.
And also that smeared mayonnaise on myself for YouTube.
So great. So being a huge YouTuber, you have over 200,000 subscribers. Do you have any advice for new YouTubers?
I do, and it's funny. I've been brainstorming creating a video about this, and I want it to be a high quality vid, so I haven't put it together yet. And I wrote a blog entry about it on my Tumblr. But long story short, if you're getting into YouTube, number one, don't try to get into it for money. If you're trying to get into it for money, you're going to have a bad time. Secondly, practice. Nobody is good when they pick up a guitar for the first time. Nobody's going to. I guess maybe Kurt, I don't know. But you pick the first time, chances are you're not going to thrash on it. The first time you create a YouTube video, you're going to suck.
So bad.
You gotta,
so bad.
So create, practice. Hone your craft. Upload it all. Upload the failures, upload the successes, upload everything. Get audience feedback. Get in YouTube. Let the search engine find you. And then, more importantly, when you find that you've made something good, that you're proud of, that you think is good, share it. Share it on your Facebook, share it on your guild forum, share it on your Twitter, tweet it to people, get people to look at it. And if it is good, maybe a big YouTuber will click the like button. Maybe they'll retweet it. Maybe they'll share it. And that might only get you 2 more people, or maybe 4 more. But one day you have 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, then 32, then 3,000, then 200,000. You know,
growth is growth.
And I got to say, the other thing is that people give up too easy. You know, like, I've been doing this for a year. I've got less than 500 subs. Nobody's watching my shit. Look at one of my favorite YouTubers. Love to give him a shout out here. Today with Patrick J, the guy who painted this awesome night elf painting here behind me. He has been doing it for 4 or 5 years, and he's never found great success. He's never reached 100,000 subs, but he loves doing it. He interacts with his fans, and it doesn't matter to him that he's not making a lot of money. It doesn't matter to him that he's not prolific. You know, he's not the next Fred. He just loves doing it. And you'll find out if you love doing it. And if you love doing it, do it. And if you don't, go play Xbox. It's a lightning round. I love lightning rounds.
Yeah, it's like a lightning round. But you are allowed to explain yourself, but you have to say your answer as quick as you can. And then you can explain yourself.
Yep. Here's what I do on my live streams. I don't know if you've ever seen one of my live streams. But when we finish a live stream, when we're done with the last question, we shout Thunderdome for the lightning round. Can we shout Thunderdome together? Can we do that?
Thunderdome when it's over?
No, Thunderdome. We're getting out of the Thunderdome.
Are we saying the Thunderdome now?
The Thunderdome now. We're entering the Thunderdome. Okay. Let's get into the Thunderdome.
We're getting into the Thunderdome.
When we're done, we're going to exit that explosive exiting of the Thunderdome. Yes. Boom.
We're going to blow the fuck out of the Thunderdome. Are you ready?
Ready.
All of these questions are who would win in a fight. So the first one is the Hulk or Garrosh Hellscream?
Oh, the Hulk, easy. He's invulnerable.
That is true. Spit a bullet out after he tried to kill himself. Good point. How about Arthas or Darth Vader?
Oh my God. Oh, that's a tough question. Arthas has the Lich King helm in this fight. If so, then that technically makes him almost nigh invulnerable, where Darth Vader got killed by his own son. How fucking embarrassing is that?
Right? Yeah. Although Arthas got killed by wrath babies.
Actually, wait, I guess Vader didn't technically get killed by his own son. It was a kind of a dual wielding thing with the Emperor. So I don't want any of the Star Wars nerds to be mad at me right now. They're like, "Oh, you even watch the movie? Did you even watch the movie?"
So what are you saying, Arthas or Darth Vader? Final answer. Vader. Okay. How about Captain Picard or Captain Kirk?
Oh, Captain Picard, easily, man. That guy's got swag for days.
I don't know. I loved a young William Shatner. He was pretty badass. He was pretty badass.
Picard's superior technology.
It's true.
He was so cool. You're right. I forgot about that.
Amazing. So how about a My Little Pony or a Care Bear?
Oh, God. Well, that's a hard question because Care Bears have that whole stare power, but then friendship is magic.
I know.
So, no, God, I'm gonna go with friendship. I like friendship.
I would probably say that a pony would beat a Care Bear. Like, any pony could beat a Care Bear, because a lot of the ponies can fly, and the ones that can't fly have magic. So
I'm rooting for Derpy. Actually, Derpy Hooves. If you're familiar with this
doesn't love Derpy Hooves? Rainbow Dash, I'm sorry. Did I do that, Rainbow Dash?
Did I just accidentally come out as a brony? Okay.
Okay, the last one is Master Chief or Jim Raynor.
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh, jeez. You got to go with Master Chief there because he's the fan favorite, I think. And plus, didn't that dude just like brave the depths of space, like floating? And he has the power of inevitability.
Yeah.
You know?
Master Chief's
So he
pretty
wins.
awesome. All right, so now we get to do Thunderdome, right? Okay.
2, 1.
Yep. Thunderdome!
Oh.
You have to ask the interwebs a question for them to answer in the comments.
Oh, let's see. Well, since you've been pestering me about what my favorite video game is, ladies and gentlemen of TradeChat following, I want to know what your favorite video game is. If you leave that in your comment box below, I will go through it and read every single one. And if you say Pac-Man, you'll be my new friend, my new best friend forever.
Did you hear that? Best friend forever. So before we wrap this interview up, do you have any shameless self-promotion that you would like to do? Anything coming up?
Hey, you can find me at youtube.com/Boogie2988. Don't forget, we live stream occasionally on Twitch TV and right here using Google Hangout Plus. You can follow me on Twitter at Boogie2988. You can follow me at Facebook at some long, shitty address that you can find on my main page. And Mountain Dew. That shit's still lit.
That shit's so lit.
When are they gonna start paying me to sell that shit? Because I've sold so much Mountain Dew at this point. Here, let's do one for these guys. Here we go. It's exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, because I'm diabetic and I don't want to lose my toes, I drink Powerade Zero. 0 calories. All the taste. It'll make you pee good.
Yay, hydration! So guys, that was my interview with Boogie2988. I'm going to also be asking him some questions that you guys sent in on his channel. So if you want to check that out, you can click right here. It will also be linked below. For the time being, though, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Bye!